We are talking today about the meaning of homeopathic consultation. We are going to talk about preparation of the homeopath. Preparation of the homeopath. I will just give you some basic ideas which they have come out of my experience. What does it mean that an individual decides to go to a doctor, and in particular to a homeopath? What it means? First of all, no sound. No sound. Now there is sound? Yes, very good. First of all, it means that the individual is suffering. That's why he decides to go to see a doctor, to see a homeopath. And what is your position? Your position is that you come to me and I will cure you, right? So here we have a phenomenon which has two phases. One outside phase where the patient appears and you are there sitting in your room, and an inner phenomenon, which is the expectation of the patient that he will be well, and your expectation that you will give him health. So actually this meeting has a necessity for a double preparation, an outside preparation and an inside preparation, inner preparation. The outside preparation is that you went to a school, you learn certain methods, and then after you felt good and secure, you open a clinic or a practice, and you got nice furnitures, the best possible furnitures, and a nice atmosphere, and so when the patient comes, feels at ease, comfortable, and that you are a very important person, because you have a big throne on which you are sitting, and this can impress the patient. So there is actually in everyone who is doing this an outside preparation, as I say, starting from the day where they decide to learn this method, and the preparation, I will not say ends, but the main things end when he has opened his office and he has furniture and things like that. This are important things, but what matters in that whole preparation? Does it matter how much? It matters how much study you put on, right? From the very beginning, it matters. One wants to study, one more, one less. So it matters how much preparation you are doing, real preparation, in order to meet the challenge. What is the challenge? The challenge is something which is actually so beyond your capacity, actually, your human capacity, that you can say it does not matter how much preparation I may have, still I may fail. You know all that. In medicine, it's not so strong this. You don't need this because you know that in a duodenal ulcer, you will give in an anti-acid drug, and you will give Tagamet, and you will give this and that. Even your nurse knows what to give. So everybody will give the same. Once you have learned what the medical agents that come from the pharmaceutical companies have given you the last information, this is the best remedy that you give for rheumatoid arthritis. Then the next day you take the remedy and you give it to all the rheumatoid arthritis cases. In homeopathy is a totally different story. It's a totally different story. The preparation is quite on a different level. Because you have decided that this method, the conventional method, is not satisfying, it's not curing. I like to find a method which really gives back health to the people. And then you search, and you prepare yourself, and you go to different seminars, one seminar after another seminar, and finally you end up with Vithulka seminar in Alonissos. And then things look very, very difficult and very challenging. And the question is, what kind of a mind is that which can take up the challenge? What is the right frame of mind? What is the right frame of feelings of a student who wants to bring about cures that almost border into the miraculous? You are not prepared to cure little colds or little the warts and the after effects of a bump. Just give arnica or thuya and we have some effect. You are prepared here to meet real challenges with severe pathology, people who are suffering very deeply. And they come eventually to you to be relieved from their suffering. So, who comes to you? The more famous you are, the most known, the more difficult cases they will come. That means those cases that have been rejected entirely by all other therapists. So you can imagine the expectation of such and the inner preparation of such an individual. Such an individual has done some research. He found out that Mr. John D is the best, and he makes all the effort to go there. The expectation is there, and you You are Mr. John D., Mrs. John D. How do you feel? It is of great importance how is your inner preparation. Do you feel I am the greatest and I'm going to cure everybody? It doesn't matter what you show outwards. The outwards appearance, as I said, is different. It's an outward preparation, outside preparation, what you look, what you want to look. You put the most expensive colors, you put these ties, you put these impressive clothes, you do whatever you like. Eventually, what is going to matter is the inner preparation. I can tell you, you are very good and you are in a little room. You just have room for 2 chairs to sit. Sometimes you don't have a third chair. When a family comes, you say, now you stand all the time, and the other 2 only sit there and see what happens. And my father, yes, suffering, yes, what to say? But there is something which happens when your inner preparation is correct, that these people, they don't care whether you stand, you sit, where you sit, what clothes you wear, etc., etc. There is an atmosphere which is created inside that lit room which gives confidence to the people. You think that if I have an impressive room, this will give confidence to the people. No. What will give confidence, and I will tell you what it means to have confidence. What will give confidence is your inner preparation. Your outer preparation has started with studying, and what you needed for this, the number one thing that you needed is enthusiasm to overcome all the difficulties that they will come in your way. Great enthusiasm and great one-pointed mind. I am going to learn that. Where is a book? I read it. Where is any information? I will get it, etc. Enthusiasm and relentless gathering of information. But if is missing the idea and the desire to help the other person. If your desire, you're not interested, you say, I am good, I know, what's your care, I take phosphorus. If you have this attitude, where you don't really care what is going to happen to the individual, as long as you cover up some symptoms, you muddle up the case, you pretend in any way that you have done something for the individual. As long as there is this attitude, forget about the success in homeopathy. You can be, for a time being, you can be successful. You will be getting very tired of yourself and of listening to patients. Because we come now, if you have the right preparation with enthusiasm and the desire to heal, the desire, it is a great thing to see somebody who is suffering come back and says, I'm not suffering so much at least. It is something which is almost bordering to the miraculous, as I said. It's beautiful. And every healer is really filled with energy and with satisfaction when he gets this feedback. Now, if you take this feedback and for one moment, I'll tell you, for one moment, you think really in yourself that now I am the best, or I am good, or I am very good, or all these things which you attribute to yourself. Things have happened, and you attribute to yourself, to your abilities. It doesn't matter how you show outwardly. Outwardly you may show, inwardly. You should never believe that what you see happening as a kind of miraculous cures are because of you. You should not think, not for one moment, because the next moment another case will come. The moment that you say, oh, what a great hen, it will be a disaster. It will be a disaster. You don't know what to do. You are losing your mind. You are losing. Then the patient is dying. Now what shall I do? Call all the doctors. Give all the antibiotics. Give this. Give that. Cortisone. Anything. You're lost. Why? Because you had the impression that what you were doing, what you were succeeding to do the day before, you could do it all the time. Not with homeopathy. So homeopathy demands from the individual to be very much aware of what's going on all the time. Even a thought, I have done it. Hey, you talk to yourself, you say, hey, be careful. But the next challenge is going to be much worse than that. So the desire is there, the enthusiasm is there. But the idea that I am doing it should not be there. There is a kind of almost fear, I would say fear, when you take the simplest case. There is a fear that you may fail. The idea is like somebody who makes miracles. You say, will I be able to do something supernatural? It is almost to that extent the difficulty of treating with homeopathy is to the extent that you are doing some kind of, it's so difficult attainment as you perform a miracle. Is it possible to know that you can do it every time? No. Especially when you have the attitude that I can do it. Because the moment you have the attitude, you can do it. I tell you what happens to many of my students. They became very famous. And then eventually, why? I'm famous now. Then I relax. Now I can sit back. I can have a boat and go sailing in the seas of Aegean, and then you start losing the information. It's something very peculiar that happens in such cases where you start losing the information. The homeopath who felt now I'm good start going down the gutter. And as I said, there are a lot of my students who they, in spite of being very successful in the beginning, because information is information, gives you some information. The information is fresh. You take it, you apply it, you see the results. Immediately the fame is augmenting, is becoming more and more. And there is a time where you feel, now I'm secure. That is the time where your fall starts. As a healer, as a homeopathic healer. The reason is that in a homeopathic consultation, from the moment it starts to the moment it finishes, after 3 years of treatment, or 5 years of treatment, 2 years of treatment, 1 month of treatment, whatever, there is another inner phenomenon is taking place. Because this person is suffering, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and suddenly he comes there with the idea, I may become well. But what is to become well for a person who is suffering 20 years? 20 years of suffering, and suddenly somebody can say, okay, be well. You just whisper, Balsatilla. Like this, it's finished. The problems. He says, my God, that is a phenomenon. If you really see the whole thing, it is a phenomenon, it is an idea which is beyond the logical abilities of the human being. This person is suffering for 20 years and now is going to be released. And what needs to be done? Certain actions have to be done, certain functions have to be done in order to arrive really at that state where the person says, I'm not suffering anymore. What are these functions? What are these conditions that have to be fulfilled? You see that, that we have been accused of having placebo effect in our cases. Is it true or not? Of course it's true. What is the placebo effect for us? The placebo effect, do you know what it is mostly? It is the fact that you spoke to an individual who felt that you really understood him, her. She felt at ease, and she felt that this person is really listening. Why the person says he really listens? Because you are interested. Why you are interested? Because you have the desire to help. So you have the desire to help. You have really the desire to help. I don't mean a logical desire to help. I mean a real inner desire to help. I wish I could give him back health. Oh my God, he's suffering so much. How can I do it? And what is the remedy? And then you battle inwardly. It doesn't matter anything. Everything else you forget. What do you think? My secretary said, you have a very good memory. And everybody who knows me, I have a very good memory. I said, I don't have a good memory. I have a good memory only for the cases which were suffering very much, and I remember them. And then I can remember for years what was happening to that individual and all that. Otherwise, I don't have a good memory. Forget my keys, forget my this, forget my car. I walk back home and the car is there, and all kinds of things. What's good memory? Well, so if you really look in this interview, it is a meeting point and a very important point in your life and in the life of the person. It's almost a love affair. Can you forget a love affair? No. That's why I remember all my cases. But on the outside, what you show, it is different and should be different than the inside. The inside should not be revealed. I want to cure you. Oh, I love you very much. And you hug the patient, or you do like, or you touch, you do. Forget all these tricks. They don't work. They don't work. They work, yes, for keeping some clienteles, because they say, oh, what a nice doctor, etc. But the real issue, which is, can you cure me, will never be realized. Can you cure me? Yes. But what happens is different than the external way of behaving towards the patient. You could say nice words when you feel that a person is in distress, real distress, of course. You can be nice, but also you should be detached from the person itself. You are attached to the idea of helping him, not to the person. Because the moment you get attached to the person, oh, what a nice woman, nice comes. Oh, come in, yes. No. That's very nice. What's your problem? What's your problem? The woman also looks at you like, this is a nice man also. Yes. She forgets the problem. And she starts little things, Then, what do you think about this pimple here? This is what I have. Oh, terrible. This pimple there. Oh, I must cure you. This, yeah. And the real issues, on a personal level, if you get involved, you will never discover what's going on inside the person, because you are looking on the outside. You are looking at the person whom you like. But what do you like? You like outside, You like her physique, the way she has her hair. You know what? It's nice hair, and the style. I like the style of the hair, and wow, beautiful eyes, and blah blah blah. And this is attachment, and this has as a result not being able to see clearly what is going on with the individual. So therefore, a homeopath should, on top of everything else, should be a master of his own feelings. Because you can imagine also, when you have given the right remedy to this nice woman, let us say you like her, she comes back and she thanks you very much. She looks at you like you are a god or a goddess. He says, my God, what nice, beautiful eyes you have. Huh? It is an admiration. And then you receive this admiration and you believe that you have beautiful eyes. You believe, my eyes are beautiful, or whatever. Don't get attached to this. It's okay. It's okay, yeah, I know I'm beautiful, yes. But what about the follow-up? Let's come to the follow-up. Let's come and see whether I can further help you. Huh? I can help further investigate what's going on inside. And if you have this attitude, then the phenomenon of healing starts happening. The healing, the real healing, is a phenomenon. It is a... We say we give energy. The remedies are energy, right? It is a phenomenon happening on another level than the physical. And this phenomenon may start, as we say, with the placebo effect and continue and go deeper and deeper with the correct remedy. Also, the fact that you sympathize with the patient, it can augment, it can increase the placebo effect. Because it is homeopathic. When somebody cries and you cry because of sympathy, it's like a homeopathic remedy, because you sympathize. That is why you should not sympathize. Outside, you should not show. Sometimes I have, especially in my years of practice, the first years, I have tried to control myself not to cry in certain stories that they were so distressing and so outrageous. What was happening to the individual, one tragedy after another, to come to that condition. You hold yourself there and you say, I'm not going to cry, because the moment you start crying, you cannot listen anymore. Oh, yeah. Can you imagine? The person cries and you cry and you embrace each other and you say, and then you go back to the, you go back to the computer or to the repertory to what to look. You don't know what to look. You are upset. You are out of your mind. You are sympathizing. So you have entered the state of the patient. You enter the state of the patient. Can you imagine somebody who is just collapsing in front of you? You collapse next to him. Somebody is collapsing. He says, I remember a case in the center in Athens. One of the doctors, I think he was a rather mature doctor, and he comes there while I was looking at different cases, different rooms. He comes to the room, he opens the door. He says, George, can you come? I said, what? He says, the patient has collapsed. I go there and I say, the patient is collapsed. And he does not know. He's a psychiatrist, he's a neurologist, and the patient is collapsed. Now, he does not know why he is collapsed. Now, I come and I just see somebody who is lying down there. He should have been able to give me some information, right? No information. He has collapsed. I said, okay. Don't collapse, wait, take it easy, sit down, tell me now what happened. Just a few information to know why is this because of there is a shock, there is hysteria, there is epilepsy, there is whatever. You lost the moment that you got involved with the individual. You don't sympathize. He's not sympathizing. It doesn't matter. Who will tell you not sympathize? What you know, you know. What it is your problem, whether you sympathize or not. It's not the problem of the patient to tell you. You have to, your job is to try to bring about that phenomenon of healing. That is your energy, or where it is. I want, but don't ever say it. don't ever say it even to yourself. This is a state of mind. It's not something that can be brought about by logic. The more you want to cure inwardly, the more your success. So these are the rules here in this science. And the preparation has to be, now if we go to the side of the preparation of the homeopath, has to be an all-round preparation. Should not be a preparation, one-sided preparation. The homeopath is going to advise in many, many issues of the patient, because the patient gets attached to the homeopath. He sees that he found relief of his symptoms. He is attached to the doctor, and the doctor becomes his advisor. So he will ask you, what about what to do with my daughter? I have a problem with my daughter. She doesn't listen. She's a hippie. He's going out. What shall I do? And you have to advise. And you are young. You are 35. You are 7. And the man who is asking you for advice is 57. And he's the dean of the university. And he's asking you what to do. So your preparation should be, and that requires an open mind to learn, to listen, to learn to listen. Somebody has to tell you something. Stupid thing. Why do you listen to this man or woman? Because I'm learning something. Even from very simple people, you can learn. You are a Christian Orthodox. Why do you speak with Catholics? Or why do you speak with Jewish? Huh? When some Jewish man wants to tell me something about his religion, I listen very carefully. Because I would like to know how they think, how they feel, how they eat, how they do. If somebody is Islam, what's called Muslim, I listen. There is an inner teaching of Judaism. I'm interested. The Kabbalah, etc. There is an inner teaching of Muslims. It is the Sufis. What they have to say. I listen. I don't close and then I receive the information, and that information makes me an all-around person. Somebody is an artist, wants to give me his point of view. I will listen. I will learn. I'll go to the theater. I will go, but I will never read junk, or I'll never go to listen to a theater or to a cinema where it is just a junk thing. Cowboys killing each other, what is there to learn? So a homeopath has to be an all-around educated person that will be able to really give advice, but always that advice is not, I'm telling you. It is almost a suggestion, almost the person does not know that you have given a suggestion. Let us say, you have to be careful about these things, because sometimes we can become very hard without understanding what we are doing. There comes a girl, She's 26. She's 26, and she confesses to you that she has never had an affair. She has never had an affair. She goes to a psychiatrist. And the psychiatrist, overtly, she says, okay, if you want to be well, you just make sex. This is killing the patient, not helping the patient. Right? To a girl who has never been, you say, you go and have sex. What is this? She does not know. She has no idea. What is this experience? And you just, don't be stupid. Do this, do that. This is very, very dangerous to feel that you have the answer and you can give it. There is no such answer because each individual is unique and you don't know all the factors all around to advise, because you expect that the individual will listen and will never do so, because you don't know the factors. You don't know the 25 different parameters for the individual. Again, what I found out, that is, whenever you try to give a direct advice, almost never worked out. That's why I almost never give an advice. I give the remedy and then observe what is happening and the opening up of the individuals and how they slowly open up and they find by themselves the way out from the problem. Mm-hmm. And the only thing you can do is just encourage. If later on, after 2 years of treatment, this girl of 28 says, I found a nice man and I'm interested, you encourage. You say, yes, why don't you? You can encourage them. But on the very beginning, to say I will give you this advice, or take that advice, or you are homosexual, stop being a homosexual. Now you be on the other side, and or whatever. You don't. This is not your job, because we are not advisors. We are homeopaths, and we rely mostly upon the remedy in which we give. So therefore, after all this, what is the meaning of a homeopathic consultation? Conclusion. What is the meaning? You see how difficult it is to cure a person who will not give you information. Or he will give you some information and some other information he thinks is not your job. Then it becomes very difficult or impossible to cure such an individual. Another comes and opens up and gives you information. So what is that? That is something like, it's almost something like somebody admitting his weaknesses. Admitting that I am a person with all these weaknesses. And when a person does this, you see, when somebody is full of heavy conscience, he has stolen things, he has killed people, and then eventually he says, I will go to the priest to unload all this, what is inside me. That decision is similar to the decision of the person who goes to a homeopath. And the patient may not know exactly what he has to do, but by your interest will show him that it is to his benefit if he tells you what is happening inside and you can come to a conclusion. So the meaning is the starting of a clearing up, of detoxification. I don't want to use words that can be misunderstood, like confession. It is the beginning of cleaning the inside. And then it happens that when he gives you out this, what is happening inside him, which bothers him and makes him suffering, then you are able to decide on the correct remedy and help him by giving the correct remedy. And then the miracle takes place. So you have to see the homeopathic consultation and something almost mystical. You cannot really have success if you see the patients as people who are going to give you so much money. Actually, my belief is that this should not be, this service, which is called homeopathy, should not be given against money. But the homeopaths should be supported either by the governments or by very rich people who don't know what to do with their money.